Have you ever felt like God's gone quiet? You pray, you plead, you pour out your heart, but all you hear is nothing. No whisper, no comfort, no clear direction. Just silence. It's unsettling, isn't it? That hollow ache in your soul, wondering if God's even listening. You might feel abandoned, confused, or even question if you've done something wrong. But here's the truth. When God goes silent, it's not because He's left you. It's because He's working in ways you can't yet see. This silence isn't punishment, it's preparation. It's God inviting you into a deeper trust, a stronger faith, a journey that will transform you if you lean into it. Today, we're diving into what it really means when God goes silent. Over the next 20 minutes, you'll discover 5 practical signs to recognize what God's doing in the quiet moments, backed by the truth of His Word. Each point will challenge you to look at your life, your faith, and your heart. This isn't just a video, it's a spiritual wake-up call. So, grab a notebook, open your heart, and let's walk through the silence together. Let's start with the first sign. God's silence often means He's testing your trust. When you can't hear His voice, it's easy to panic. You might think, did I mess up? Is God mad at me? But silence isn't rejection, it's an invitation to trust Him more. Think about it. When life gets quiet, when the answers don't come, you're forced to rely on what you know about God, not what you feel in the moment. It's like a spiritual muscle workout. God's silence stretches your faith, pushing you to trust His character even when you can't trace His hand. The Bible confirms this in Psalm 27 verse 14. Wait for the Lord, be strong, and let your heart take courage. Wait for the Lord. Waiting isn't passive, it's active trust. David wrote this psalm in a season of danger and uncertainty, yet he chose to anchor himself in God's faithfulness. When God's silent, He's not absent. He's asking you, will you trust me even when you can't hear me? Will you hold on to my promises when the silence feels deafening? Reflect on this. When was the last time you felt God's silence? Maybe you're praying for a breakthrough, a job, a healing, a restored relationship, and it feels like your prayers are hitting the ceiling. Ask yourself, are you trusting God's timing, or are you letting fear take the wheel? Silence tests your trust, but it also builds it. God's preparing you for something greater, and this moment of quiet is shaping you into someone who can carry the weight of His promises. So, what do you do when God's testing your trust? First, go back to His Word. Remind yourself of His promises. Write them down, speak them out loud. Second, pray honestly. Tell God you're struggling with the silence, but you're choosing to trust Him anyway. And third, wait with expectation. God's silence isn't the end of the story, it's the prelude to His next move. This is just the beginning. In the next section, we'll explore how God's silence might be a call to examine your heart. Stay with me, because this journey through the silence is about to get real. A call to examine your heart. You're in the middle of God's silence, and it feels like a desert. Your prayers echo back, unanswered, and you're wondering, God, where are you? But what if this silence isn't just about waiting? What if it's God holding up a mirror to your soul? The second sign that God's silence has a purpose is this. It's a call to examine your heart. When God goes quiet, He's often inviting you to look inward, to confront what's really going on inside you. Are there things you've been ignoring, sins, doubts, or distractions that need to be faced? God's silence can be His way of saying, let's deal with this together. Let us test and examine our ways and return to the Lord. This verse comes from a place of deep pain, where the prophet Jeremiah is crying out in a season of devastation. Yet he points to self-examination as the path back to God. Silence isn't God turning away, it's Him waiting for you to turn inward. Maybe there's pride creeping in, or bitterness you haven't let go of. Maybe you've been chasing your own plans instead of seeking His. God's silence is like a pause button, giving you space to reflect and realign your heart with His. Think about it. When was the last time you truly examined your heart? Not just a quick prayer before bed, but a deep, honest look at your motives, your choices, your priorities. God's silence can feel uncomfortable because it forces you to face things you'd rather avoid. Are you holding on to resentment? Are you distracted by the noise of the world, social media, ambition, or fear? God's quietness is an invitation to get real with yourself and with Him. He's not punishing you, He's pursuing you, longing for a heart that's fully His. So, how do you respond? Start by asking God to show you what's in your heart. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts. And see if there be any grievous way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. Be honest about what you find, confess it, surrender it. Then, replace distractions with devotion. Spend time in His Word, even when it feels dry. Worship even when you don't feel like it. These acts of obedience in the silence draw you closer to God's heart. Take a moment to reflect. What's God revealing in this quiet season? Is there something in your life He's asking you to let go of or realign? Don't rush past this. Grab a journal and write down what comes to mind. God's silence isn't empty, it's full of purpose, and He's waiting for you to meet Him in it. In the next section, we'll uncover how God's silence might be preparing you for a new season. Keep walking with me. This is getting good. Preparing you for a new season. You're standing in the silence, and it's heavy. You've been praying, waiting, searching for God's voice, but the quiet lingers. What if this silence isn't a dead end, but a doorway? The third sign of what God's silence really means is this: He's preparing you for a new season. God's quiet moments aren't random, they're purposeful. Like a farmer preparing the soil before planting, God uses silence to ready your heart for what's coming. It's not about abandonment, it's about alignment. He's shaping you, strengthening you, and positioning you for a breakthrough you can't yet see. But they who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They should walk and not faint. This verse promises that waiting on God isn't wasted time. It's transformative. In the silence, God is renewing your strength, building your resilience, and equipping you for the next chapter. Think of Joseph in the prison, David in the wilderness, or Jesus in the desert. Their seasons of silence weren't punishment. They were preparation for God's greater purpose. Right now, you might feel stuck, like nothing's moving forward. Maybe you're waiting for a door to open, a new job, a restored marriage, a clearer calling. But God's silence is His workshop. He's refining your character, deepening your dependence on Him, and aligning your desires with His plans. The question is, are you cooperating with His process, or are you fighting it? Silence is where God strips away what's temporary so you can carry what's eternal. So, what can you do in this season? First, embrace the silence as a gift, not a curse. Trust that God is working even when you can't see it. Second, seek His presence over His answers. Spend time worshiping, reading His Word, and listening, even if it feels one-sided. Third, prepare practically. If you're sensing a new season, ask God what steps you can take now. Maybe it's learning a skill, forgiving someone, or stepping out in faith. Pause and reflect. What new season might God be preparing you for? Are you resisting His silence, or are you leaning into it, trusting He's at work? Take a moment to pray and ask God to show you one thing He's teaching you in this quiet season. Write it down, hold on to it, because this silence is building something beautiful. In the next section, we'll explore how God's silence might be an invitation to deeper intimacy with Him. Stay with me. This journey is leading you closer to His heart. An invitation to deeper intimacy. You're still in the silence, crying out to God, and it feels like He's not answering. But what if this quiet isn't a barrier? It's a bridge. The fourth sign of what God's silence really means is this. It's an invitation to deeper intimacy with Him. When God goes silent, He's not pushing you away. He's pulling you closer. He's calling you to seek Him, not just His answers. In the silence, God is saying, "Come know me, not just what I can do for you." It's in these quiet moments that your relationship with Him grows from surface level to soul deep. Therefore, behold, I will allure her, and bring her into the wilderness, and speak tenderly to her. God speaks these words about Israel, drawing her into a wilderness, a place of isolation and silence, to restore her heart. The wilderness isn't a place of punishment, it's a place of intimacy. When God's voice feels far, He's inviting you to chase after His presence. He wants you to seek Him with a hunger that goes beyond your need for solutions. He's after your heart, not just your requests. Maybe you've been praying for God to fix something, a broken situation, a struggling faith, a hurting heart. But in the silence, God's asking you to pursue Him first. Are you seeking His face, or just His hand? Are you spending time with Him, or are you only showing up when you need something? Silence strips away the noise and distractions, leaving you with no